Hi, everybody, and welcome to Tuesday Tuneups. It's Karen, and I am here live with you today to talk about one of the biggest of big emotions, which is grief today. So I call this one Good Grief in honor of the power that it has, the power that it has over all of us when we experience it. So before we start, once again, I'm going to ask you if I can come into your space first. There we go. Perfect. And let's do what we always do right at the beginning, which is let go of all of the energy that you have taken on from other people and other things in the collective, because so many of us are empaths. All right, so let's get all that energy out of our space. Beautiful. Yay, there it goes. Awesome. And let's release all of the radiation, harmful radiation and electromagnetic frequencies that are in our highly technical world here, technologized world. You see, I made up a word. That can happen. All right. Okay. Perfect. All righty, here we go then. So, grief. All righty. Grief is one of the most powerful emotions, and the truth about it and what I understand about it, and from working with people who've had it and who've been going through it, and my own personal big experiences that I've had in my life and continue to have in my life, as we all do, we can't stop other people from passing. We have to learn how to cope with it in the most effective and loving way, because the thing about grief is that if you try to avoid it, it's fine. It'll just wait for you. Is the best way I can put it. Grief will just wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. It will wait a day, 2 days, a year, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. But it's going to get you if you do not work on it. I'm not trying to do fear or anything like that with people, but and grief is such a formidable emotion that it needs to be processed. And so today what we're going to do is I want to help you lift some of the burdens from some old grief that you may have that you're still carrying around. And look, it's a process. We don't know how long it lasts. For everybody, it's different. And for whatever realizations you make, wherever you go with it, whatever the relationship was that you had with the person who died. And so, but what's most important is just to give yourself that space to grieve, because it will catch up with you, and it will, whatever, I always say that whatever things that we don't resolve in our lives with our emotionally, our bodies will resolve for us. So we don't want to go there. We want to stay healthy, and one of the best ways to stay healthy energetically also is just to be able to process grief when it comes up. So first of all, let's give you God's understanding of what it is. I understand we have an understanding of what it is, and we have an understanding that it's a really bad thing for the most part. Nobody likes to go through it. Here we go. It's just, we have to when it happens. And so, there we go. So let's show you how to, what it feels like to allow yourself to feel it. Because the first thing that tends to happen is we'll have a reaction, and then within a certain amount of time, we start to try to bring it down, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. So let's show you how to allow it instead, and why it's important for you to allow that initial response to happen, because that's sort of the gateway, is really the gateway for getting in and being able to go in and grieve and come out when you're ready and go back in when you're ready. Because sometimes we get so good at pushing down the grief because there's so many things to do. You may have kids to take care of, you may have a parent to take care of, you may have a lot of things on your plate, and you're like, oh, I can't do this right now. So, but we want to be able to do it when we can. And sometimes grief's going to choose for us. Like, I don't know about you, but it can happen to me when, like, right before I go to bed, I'm in the shower, I'm driving, right when places where you're unguarded and and all of a sudden you think of the person and you go, blah, and you cry, or whatever you do. And when you repress these emotions, they can turn into anger and other, shortness of your temper and your patience and different things like that on the people around you who really had nothing to do with what happened. And so taking care of it also takes care of your relationship with yourself, which is really honoring yourself and what's going on, and also your relationship with the people you're closest to, because they're going to feel the fallout. And so let's just show you how to do that in a way that's safe and that it's possible. To allow yourself your first reaction, let you know that it's okay to be vulnerable. Even if you have to take yourself out of the room, it's okay, whatever you need to do what you need to do, and allow yourself that moment, that initial moment, because that does set the tone of your grieving process with this person, or old grieving processes that you never went through, really. There we go. And let's also have God lift, and remember, this is going to be, obviously this is a light version, this is a short version of this. And you'll only do what you're ready to do here, okay? I have no intention other than to create a space for you to do this in your own divine timing, just so you know. Okay. And so allowing yourself that initial reaction so that you can set the tone to heal and grieve in a healthy way. And let's let you know what that means, how to do it, that it's possible to do it. Also, what compassion is from God's perspective, what it feels like, and what self-compassion is, okay? And what that feels like. There we go. Beautiful. And let's show you that you're deserving of receiving God's compassion and God's self-compassion. Because if you're in this group, you'd like to take care of other people, maybe even more than yourself. All right. Okay, good job. And show you how to and what it feels like to receive God's compassion, how to and what it feels like to receive God's self-compassion. That it's possible and it's safe to do so. I'm getting sometimes receiving is showing a sign of weakness. Receiving compassion is a sign of weakness. So these are old beliefs. Let's just have God change them and make sure that all this energy and information from the beginning of our session comes to you in all languages and all levels. That way, when it goes into your subconscious mind, it will leave no stone unturned from all the ancestral languages that you spoke, all the languages you speak now. There we go. Good job. And if you'd like at this time, and you may have more than one, but if there's some one that you're thinking about that you're grieving right now in particular, or there's just, it could be an old one that's been around for a while that you haven't thought of in a while, or whatever this is, or it's a collective. Is it all right if God lifts the burden of this grief from you, every cell of your body, and send it to God's light? There we go. Beautiful. Wonderful. Nice. And let that go. It's okay. And show you how to and what it feels like to live without the burden of this grief. And once again, you can come back and watch this again and pick somebody else, okay? How to and what it feels like, and that it's safe for you to live without this. And you can still love this person or these people and honor these people, respect these people, without holding on to the burden of the grief, okay? Because the burden is just an extra wet blanket you have. And it does nothing to help, okay? Alrighty. And let's also show you, there we go, how to and what it feels like to take care of yourself during this time in an extra special way, to be more aware of yourself. Show you what it means to have healthy communication so that other people around you know what you're going through. So in case you are a little crabby and a little short with people, that you can go, I'm really sorry, this is going on, and they can have a context to understand instead of have it come out of nowhere. and also remind you what healthy self-care is and how you can take care of yourself in this time, which usually means, sometimes grief is tiring. A lot of times it is, so you can rest. Also, you can exercise. Exercise really does help. It doesn't mean you have to go and do, run a marathon or anything. If you take a walk, it'll help lighten your mood. When you talk to other people, it'll help lighten your mood. When you get out of your own story, it'll help you lighten your mood too, without having to use it as an escape. Sometimes the grief comes on and it's everything, and then it's really nice to have that break. And sometimes it's part of your day and it's not all of your day. So whatever that is for you right now, just giving yourself and allowing yourself permission to experience it. Now allow yourself downtime to experience it. And be able to handle it when it comes. Like I said, when it comes in those surprising moments when you're unguarded, that you can create that space for it then too. Because usually it really doesn't come for really long, but you may get a big, deep cry out of it, but then you're done, and you start feeling better after that. And that was all in your body. I mean, look at, and I've talked about this before, we talk about babies, right? And how when something happens, they cry and they're just like, wah, right? And they just cry, but then they finish. And then they're like, oh, whew, that feels good. And they move on. That's what we're meant to do. But because we become adults and we have so many more other jobs than have somebody else take care of us 24/7, we got more on our plate. And that's still there for us to be able to get that deep cry. And let's show you how to, when it feels like, to get that when it feels safe too. Just to allow it. Because it's just healing your body. Bringing your immune system back. Bringing your ability to go to sleep and stay asleep back. All of these sorts of things. Releasing compressed emotions, which can wreak havoc on your body. There we go. Perfect. And also show you here, let's have God bring you the insight. When you're in a challenging state, remember, I'm going to say remember and then I'm not going to say anything. It's time to take care of yourself. So giving you insight on the things that would make you happy in this moment. And find 3 things, just write down 3 things that would make you happy during this time, or when you're thinking about this stuff too. When you're processing grief, think of 3 things and then do them for yourself. If you want to do them all in one day, one a day, but remember to bring yourself back into that state of taking care of yourself and making yourself happy. It's the easiest way to love yourself. Just do something kind for yourself that you really want. Even if it doesn't make any sense in the moment to do it, do it. All right, my friends, and let's have God give you a body healing. And let you know who you are from God's perspective with all these changes that will continue to evolve. There you go. Let's bring you back into your body, all the way through your body. Feel the essence of yourself go through your body, down into the bottom, out the bottoms of your feet. Dive deep into the ground for that Mother Earth energy. Bring it back up the bottoms of your feet, all the way up to the top of your head. You're here. I'm still deep in theta, so it's hard for me to open my eyes. And if you would like, if you're someone who is really going through grief, there are 2 things that I would like to offer support with. One is, if you would like to have a session with me, I'd be honored to help you through this. I do 30-minute and 1-hour sessions. And you can either text me, or you can go onto my website and go to thinktheta.com, and you can, work with me and find me that way. You'll find my phone number to text me, and you'll find my email if you'd like to have a session with me, and we can book a session. Or I also have a program that I've had for many years, and it's really done a lot of help for people when they wanted to process grief on their own in their own time, and it's called Good Grief, and it's a series of recorded theta healing meditations to help you through all the stages of grief. And if you're interested in that, you can just go to thinktheta.com also and go into programs, and you'll see it. Just check it out. If that's something you want. If it's not, that's okay. You have to do all of this in your own divine timing. And until next week, God bless and goodbye for now. See ya.